I feel season 2.
What, this is season 2?
Yep, this is season 2. Welcome everyone to season 2 of the Overstimulated Podcast.
We've had a 2 or 3 month break, but we're back. Still got no sponsors.
Yeah, we've been flooded with sponsors, but we're still deliberating on which one to choose.
Yeah, we're still trying to find the right one, really.
Yeah.
Many offers.
Yeah, so if you do want to join the waiting list, then put a comment below.
Currently sponsored by Tap Water.
Yeah, I even don't have my Huel drink.
Yeah, you did. Didn't work, did it? Right, go on then. Let's go. Right. Cards have already been shuffled. You go first.
Roger. Does cancer culture...
Sorry?
Cancer... Fuck's sake. No, Kieran's about to be cancelled.
Yeah, have I spelled it wrong?
Does cancel culture shut down important conversations?
Yeah, of course it does. Because people are too scared to talk about normal stuff.
I don't think it... I think it just makes people, like, slow down on what they say.
Yeah, but surely that hinders progression in conversation.
Or it's just being polite.
Polite or sensitive.
Yeah, I think it depends what you're talking about, really. Like, and it's interesting because someone did say to me this morning that you and I are very different. I'm obviously more reserved than you.
No.
But I do think that it's right, but it's just important not to take it to an extreme.
But where's the level? Where do you stop?
Well, because
you've got a girl who's offended when you call her a girl.
You pick your battles. I'd
pick that one.
Yeah, see, you're not doing it to. But you're just doing it to provoke.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I'm doing
100%.
it because I won't fall into the ridiculousness.
Yeah, but if that's what they want to do, let them be them.
No.
I will challenge.
Just fucking no. No, if someone walks into your shop, what do you call it? Office, yeah, and you're writing a will for them or whatever, and you go, like, say it's a pretty girl comes in, right, and you're like, oh yeah, so it's Mrs. Smith, and she goes, did you just assume my gender? What would you say?
Yeah, apologies for the error. How would you like to be referred?
Battleship.
No. See, now, you're chatting shit. No one asks. Okay. I don't, not no one.
Don't offend the battleships.
But people say, oh, yeah, no, I want to be referred to as a cat and stuff like that. No one says that. It's very rare that's like...
I know you say it's rare, but it is fact.
The they-thems, is a million times more common than those that want to be identified as a lamppost.
I appreciate that, but they-thems, they can fuck off as well.
No. I don't know, I'm on the
Choose.
fence there.
Pick one. Stop procrastinating. You a boy or a girl? Yeah?
Yeah, but what does it matter?
Well, of course it matters.
Why?
For sexual reproduction.
Yeah, that aspect does. But in terms of how they're referred to in day-to-day life, you're not like having sex with them as they walk down the street.
But it's then expected of me to remember that they are a they-them. It's like, oh, that's Sally over there. And someone goes, oh, is she okay? Oh, are they okay? She'd prefer you. It would prefer you to say.
They would prefer
you to say it. It's just all these different names and terms that you have to remember. They, them. Why? If it's that important to you that you're not referred to as a she, why is it that important to you that you're referred to as a they, them? What's wrong with being a she? What's wrong with it?
Yeah, but for them, they've got something going on that offends them.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like in terms of they're struggling, perhaps, maybe, I don't know, with their identity.
Okay, but we all struggle with identity. We're all different to some degree.
You're a closet gay.
Did you just assume my sexual orientation?
Yeah, I think, and this is for the other side, I do think there should be a mutual respect, as is those that perhaps maybe either look like a woman but are actually a man and want to be a man and look like a woman. I think there should be, and vice versa, like tomboys and stuff that want to dress like a bloke but actually are female. I think there should be a mutual respect on the other side that if someone makes a mistake, it's a genuine mistake. Obviously, if it gets to a certain level of disrespect, so like you saying about forgetting, yeah, I 100% am worried one day that someone's wants me to refer to them as a they them, and I forget.
Well, that's a genuine worry of yours.
Not worry. I wouldn't say that's a worry, but fortunately, it's not a worry because I haven't met someone that I would meet with regularly that I may forget.
I can set it up.
But then I do think on that side, it should be a genuine thing that they should respect, that if you do forget, you do forget. Obviously, if you told me, I would remember because I meet with you regularly. So I would remember. But if it was, say, a client and I was away from my computer where I would document that, I'm hoping that they would understand that I may forget.
Where's the line in the law currently? Like, if you're filling out a form and it's traditionally Mr. and Mrs., but they're like, no, battleship, and they're serious. No, I'm being... What?
No one identifies as a fucking battleship, Adam.
Someone identified as a cat in a school in America, and they had to put in a litter tray. I'm just saying.
No, they didn't. No,
Promise
they
it
didn't.
happened.
No, they didn't.
It was on Google, so
yeah,
it
exactly.
exists.
No, they didn't. There's the people that are...
Just pretend it existed,
No,
because it
no,
did exist. But say... them Smith or whatever it is comes into you and they're like, no, I'm battleship. Do you have to put that?
No, I would just remove any reference to a gender. So then they, them just covers battleships.
Be really difficult in like 100 years' time for genealogists, won't it?
Yeah.
It just says on the family tree, battleship. Like, hold on, what the fuck happened here?
No one is referred to as a battleship.
Battleship was married to Cat.
No, that's my... And that, do you know, I think that's why I defend, to a degree, those that do identify as they, them, is because you've got people like yourself that go to an extreme. Oh, yeah, you want to be referred to as a chair.
Yeah, but it's the slippery slope.
No, it's
Traditionally, we've had
slow
man...
down.
No, slippery slope. Traditionally, we've had man, woman. All right, in all honesty, if someone asked me to call them they, them, I wouldn't, but...
You wouldn't?
The fuck would I? I fucking wouldn't. But it wouldn't be a huge step for me to go they, them. In all honesty, it fucking wouldn't. I'm not going to, but it wouldn't. But if we allow that in society, then where does it go? Then you get, okay, that might be more normal than battleship. But if we allow that, then where does it go? You get, well, it's exactly what's happened. You've had man and woman, and then you've got they, thems. And then they've taken it one step fucking further, and you've got ze, them. And now, where's it fucking heading?
Why should
Battleship.
Why should you be in charge of deciding what's allowed and what's not allowed?
Oh, that's a world no one wants to live in.
But that's what I'm saying. You said, oh, if we allow that. Who's we?
Yeah, we, society. Because I've mentioned this before.
Oh, you represent society.
I do represent society, the majorities. But this is the thing. The majority of people, let's call it, I think it's probably a fair, accurate thing to say, 95% of people, probably 99, are fairly fucking normal. Are normal and just happy to go along with Mr. and Mrs. That's fine. But then you get the offended lot, the pink-haired, cropped fringe, you know, all that shit. You get them guys who, you know, they want to push boundaries and they want to make it, no, I'm going to be ZZM. And it's the 99% who don't speak up because they're afraid of being called whatever. What's the term? What's the term? Yeah, afraid of being cancelled. And they're like, it's not worth the battle. But if you don't have the battle, then it just goes downhill and gets worse and worse. And next thing you know,
it doesn't affect me. If someone,
it does affect you.
If
it will
the
affect
person
you.
that you've just described, like, walks down the street, like, and they want to be known, even if they want, even using your extreme example of wanting to be known as a battleship, okay, cool.
HMS fucking weirdo.
If that's what you want to be referred to, then well, okay, cool. Let's do it.
I feel like
Whatever.
The view that you're currently portraying is that you're not fussed about it.
Oh, I'm not. I don't care.
But I think if it became more and more and more popular, then you would soon start to get pissed off with remembering who's who.
No, because yeah, but I remember your name's Adam.
Yeah, but at the moment when you go out and you go, oh, look at that bloke over there, you wouldn't be able to say that in certain situations.
Yeah, but you would then get used to another thing. Like, why do you use bloke rather than man? Yeah, because that's you just remember to...
Bloke is a man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
It's just a different term.
Yeah, you remember a different term. So you would just get to know a different term.
Yeah, but no, my point is, how do you know they're a bloke?
Yeah,
How do you know they're a bloke? They might want to be referred to...
Look at that person over there.
Ah. So what?
They're a person.
Okay.
No one is currently arguing whether they're a person or not.
Yeah. That cat man. Or cat boy, as he
And
likes
if they
to be
do
referred.
ever argue that, then we'll cross that bridge. But at the moment, everyone identifies as a person in the main. So let's just look at that person.
We're going to need, I mean, I guarantee there's like classes out there to try and understand it. Of course there is.
No, so you overcomplicate it, mate.
I bet there's classes out there where people go and study gender neutral and non-binary and stuff like that. I guarantee it exists. So everyone's going to need to learn this new thing that is not fucking important. It's not important.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say is that I just refer to them as a person. Cool, right. I don't need to study the fact that you want to be known as, like, say, for example, all the different sexualities. There's hundreds of different sexualities now. I don't need to know any of them. If that's what you want to do, cool. If you want to, be pansexual, asexual,
that's
whatever it
absolutely
is.
fine. I
don't
agree
need
with
to
you.
study them and understand them.
I agree 100%.
You're still a person.
What you do in the bedroom and who you do it with is entirely up to you. No one cares outside of that bedroom. 100% agree with that.
The same with gender.
No, it's not, because you're expected to refer to them as their gender.
Yeah, but you'll then get to a point where you're. I can imagine there will come a time where you don't even use he and she. I'll even refer to you as they.
Oh, I bet you're advocating for it as well, you little cunt.
Oh, well, actually, we've just updated our CRM to...
Oh, you're such a wanker. That fucking winds me up.
to
Go and join
for it.
I bet you've told B Corp as well, haven't you?
Oh, please. But, yeah, I think there'll come a time where people like myself that will be lazy, I'll just refer to everyone as they. Just then you covered it.
I think you're doing it to wind me up.
No, I'm not. I'm genuine. Because I go for an easy life. That's
not the easy life.
Yeah,
the
yes, it
easy
fucking
life
is.
is he, she.
No,
that's the easy life.
No, yeah.
You look at them. If they got short hair, it's probably a bloke. If they got long hair, it's probably a bird.
But you're going to go through life then fighting the other side.
No, but this other side shouldn't exist. I genuinely believe there's
You sound like Hitler.
What? No,
This other side shouldn't exist.
No, I
What, are you going
genuinely
to get
believe...
into a chamber?
Because don't get me wrong, it exists in myself as well. I like to create an element of chaos. I don't know if you know this, but I like to create an element of chaos. And I feel like some people are so, what's the word? Removed from life and what life should be. And they feel like they don't get attention from anyone. It's like, oh, well, what can I do to get attention? I know.
But
ZZ.
people want to be unique, don't they?
They want to be unique.
And you are a complete picture of that, to be fair. That's what you fight for, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I
As a
also
person.
try to adhere to some social norms.
I'd like to know which one, apart from gender, which is sometimes questionable.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what other social norms that you adhere to.
I sit here looking like Ellen DeGeneres or Paul O'Grady. Go on then, we've discussed that. I win.
No, you're wrong.
You're next.
Right, you... Yeah.
My turn. This one's going to be a good one, I can tell. It is. Thoughts on circumcision?
Again, do you know, I'm actually probably a really shit person to be having on a podcast because, okay, cool. If you want to cut your foreskin off, crack on.
But this is the whole argument.
Doesn't affect me.
Nah, this is the whole argument.
Same as gender, doesn't affect
This is the whole argument. I don't know the stats, but I'm going to say something like 99% of people who are circumcised were circumcised as a baby before they even knew what was going on. Is that right or wrong? Should you cut off part of a kid's dick without him even knowing about it? And that's exactly what it is. But just because we attach religion to it, it becomes, oh no, that's okay, that's safe, that's normal. You're cutting a kid's dick off before he's even fucking touched it.
And to be fair, someone would have done you a favour.
Yeah, I could have done with a trim. Yeah, I could have done with a trim. Yeah. It's like a wizard sleeve down there.
But I think... no, I disagree with doing it for religious. I think it should be more done, say, at 16.
You try to convince a 16-year-old boy that someone's going to cut part of his cock off.
But in terms of, because then they've given consent.
Yeah, but this is my point. By the time you get to that point where they can give consent,
Unless it's done for medical reasons, obviously.
Medical reasons, fine. Yeah, it makes sense. But if you're asking to cut a 16-year-old's dick off, part of a 16-year-old's dick off, he's going to say, no, I'm all right,
No,
actually.
I disagree. Because if he's been brought up, and I mean, some would probably argue then brainwashed, that to believe in certain religion and...
You said it's not about religion.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is at 16 they can make a decision then, if they want to do it, for religious reasons, for example.
Yeah. So we can establish that it's wrong. The system is currently wrong.
Yeah,
because
no, I am agreeing.
I think we can agree that by the time a child or a person is 16 years old, a man with a penis is 16 years old, he is going to say no.
No, I disagree with you on that
No,
one.
99%
Shut
of
up,
people
no.
will say no.
No.
Of course they would.
You've completely made that stat up.
I have made it up, but it makes sense.
No, not at all.
So, okay, let's say, ballpark it, fucking making up figures here. Let's say 10% of the population is currently circumcised, and we've agreed that that was all done as a kid. Yeah? Okay, we can agree that. And you're saying that if the goalposts, or if it was moved to you had to be 16 to have that, you still think it would be 10% or close? I think you're talking less than 1.
I think 7%.
No, bollocks.
Yeah, 100%.
16-year-old Kieran, who's just discovered his cock that he can masturbate with, right? And I'm going to propose that we cut part of it off in the name of a man in the sky with a little cap on.
Yeah, but what you're saying is that means that you're saying 99% of children are going to drop their religion when they turn 16. That's what you're saying.
I feel like they would hold more value to their penis than they would to God.
No, I disagree.
Well, we disagree then.
I disagree. And the same reason is because parents believe, for religious sake, that it's worthwhile cutting their child's foreskin off. So therefore, if they're making that decision, then they clearly believe enough.
Yeah.
So therefore, they believe that that's right. So therefore, a 16-year-old who has been taught that religion believes that it's in the best for them if they cut their foreskin off.
Yeah. I just had a weird thought.
What?
Who came up with the idea? In religion.
Isn't it because it's classed as dirty or something like that?
I don't know, but I just think to myself, who, like, thousands of years ago or whatever it was thinking, what's the biggest sacrifice we can make to the gods? Cut his cock off.
I'm intrigued. I think it is because it's seen as...
I don't know. Maybe not.
People circumcised. People do this on podcast research.
Yeah, I know. We're allowed phones.
Yeah.
Just to do research and get the stats.
Yeah. Oh no, that's for health reasons.
We'll come back to you.
No, so a lot of circumcision is actually more done for medical reasons.
Yeah, I know. Some people are born with like deformities and stuff that you need to cut it off.
Yeah, or like cleanliness and stuff.
Yeah.
It's an outward physical sign of the eternal covenant between God and the Jewish people.
Doesn't seem valid reason.
Word to be so because it was a physical similar covenant. What does that mean though? The covenant? I don't.
Well, I don't know. I feel like a covenant's like an agreement or something.
Oh yeah, actually, so it'd be interesting to know how many Jewish people are still circumcised, because opting out of circumcision does not represent opting out of Judaism. Non-cutting rituals are undoubtedly Jewish, and these rituals affirm the Jewish identity.
I just don't like the idea that you can cut a kid as part of
on the 8th day of their life.
On the 8th day?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, he's barely discovered it.
Yeah.
It's being cut off.
Oh.
Yeah, but it is wrong. We can agree circumcision is wrong, and any form of genital mutilation.
Introduction to religion.
Yeah. Fuck religion.
No.
Fuck that in religion.
Well,
there is no benefit.
Yeah, it's like, I suppose it's like a sacrifice, isn't it?
What's the kid got to sacrifice? He's 8 days old. Yeah, but all he's done is crying shit.
No, but he's sacrificing himself to God.
But he has no choice.
Yeah.
Are you saying Jews are wrong, Kieran? On the record,
you're doing anything to trip me up, mate. It's not going to work.
I'll say it for you. Jews, you shouldn't listen. If you're going to take advice from anyone, take advice from me. You shouldn't be cutting kids' foreskins off.
I think the first card applies to you about being cancelled.
Here we go. We're back on track, season 2. You'll go.
Is this what this podcast is? How quickly can we get cancelled? Is it more important? Yeah, is the algorithm. That's what's the problem. Is because of the things we're saying, the algorithm.
That's why we're not getting sponsors. That's why we're only getting 3 views.
No. Yes, the algorithm. Is it more important to be selfish or selfless?
Ooh.
Oh, see, you chat shit on this one. Go on, take it away.
No, I don't know. This is...
No, go on. Is more important to be selfish or selfless?
These are questions that I think to myself that I don't know the answer to. I feel like your life is your life. So you have a right to be selfish, but to be selfless makes you feel good because you're helping others. Mm-hmm. But at the end of your life, are you going to want to be known for helping others and making others feel better, or that you've been selfish? I've lived the best fucking life, but I've been fucking selfish. Like, I don't know the answer. That's a genuine question I have. Or maybe it's a mix of the two. If you can mix up being selfish and selfless.
Yeah, I think that's the trick. Is that... Well, I don't know. Because I do... Being selfless is being selfish for me. Because I am being selfish because I gain enjoyment from doing those things.
Not all the time, though.
Well, no, not all the time. Most of the time, I would say I do.
Yeah, I get enjoyment from helping others and making others laugh and shit like that. I get enjoyment from seeing people happy. But there's certain things that I'm fucking selfish on. I'm like, no, I want to do that, so I'm going to fucking do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just weighing it up. It's like, what's selfish and what's selfless? And ultimately, when you come to the end of your life, I'm just trying to think of someone who's been ultimately selfish. And they're at the end of their life and they're like, I've got no fucking regrets. I was selfish my fucking whole life and I loved it. Or then you've got, like, I don't know, Mother Teresa, who never had a shag.
That you know of.
Yeah.
Well, that's proven it, is there isn't anyone, well, not that I know of,
That what?
has been completely selfish.
Okay.
And that's why I think it's about that happy medium, isn't it?
So it is important to mix the two up.
Yeah,
selfish and
100% middle ground.
selflessness.
Yeah, and therefore that is by having that middle ground, there is that common understanding. So therefore, everyone gives and takes.
Yeah.
So because of that, everyone's happy. If you know what I mean.
Why is it important what other people think of you?
We're not talking about that.
Huh?
We're not talking about that though.
No, it's just a
that's
question.
another question. It's not.
It's not. Okay. So what I'm getting at is when you get to the end of your life, it'd be nice if everyone sort of gathered around you going, oh, he was such a nice guy. He done this. He's so nice. But why the fuck does any of that matter?
Well, it doesn't. I think it's just about making good of your life. Like
For who?
For yourself.
So you're going the selfish route now?
Well, yeah, I guess so. But that's what, go back to my first point, is that, yeah, I'm being selfish because I want to be selfless.
Other way around, innit?
No.
I'm being selfish because it makes it
Selfish?
selfish. No, you want to be selfless in order to be selfish because you take enjoyment from being selfless.
Yeah.
Yeah, in most circumstances, but not all.
Yeah, so therefore on my deathbed, if people say to me, oh yeah, no, he was a very selfless person, I'm like, yeah, I was.
Yeah, I was a very selfless person. I didn't do anything that I fucking enjoyed. It was all to fucking help everyone else.
Yeah, but I got enjoyment out of that. So that's what I'm saying. For me personally, that's the same thing.
Okay.
Because
is that not weird though?
And
I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way.
Anna's got very used to it now, but in the beginning she struggled because for me, and we've spoken about this briefly in the past, for me, I find enjoyment from doing seeing other people do the things that they enjoy. That's my enjoyment. So therefore, Anna knows that if she wants to go and play basketball, but I want to go and play football, for example, she will be like, okay, I'm going to play basketball. I'm like, okay, well, I'll ditch football then and I'll come play with you. And she would see that as me giving up, but that's because I get more enjoyment out of our time together than doing the activity itself.
Is that not an element of codependency? Not codependency, but dependency.
Yeah, I guess so.
But this is the thing. I think codependency or dependency is tagged or coined as being bad. But if you take enjoyment from it, then is it?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
own it.
Yeah. Why I fucking do? I'm a needy fuck.
It's okay. You got me.
Don't touch me.
Right, next. You'll go.
Is it? I think it's yours.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I'm liking this podcast. We've kind of just done this. Where is your line on accepting how someone identifies? But we can clarify it. I mean, we covered it in question one, but you know, for me, I'm not.
Bear in mind, these are written by you.
Some of them are.
Are you?
We're yet to come across your ones.
Are you telling us something?
What? Oh, okay.
There's a lot of identity questions, so I think Adam's actually going for an identity crisis.
Yeah. No, you already identify me as a cunt. For me, my line is fairly clear. It's not intending to offend anyone. I just kind of.
No, it is.
No, it's not intending to offend.
100%.
I'm just trying to keep it easy and fucking simple. If you've got long hair and a vagina, you're a girl. If you've got short hair and a dick, you're a boy.
Yeah, actually,
I mean, the hair length isn't too important.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If I had a choice over it, I would keep it simple with boy and girl.
Fair point.
However, if that makes people unhappy, then I'm happy to introduce others.
Oh, you're so selfless. Oh, you're such a corporate prick.
But it's true. Why? But by you restricting it to two, you are upsetting people, and that's not nice.
They weren't upset for the past 50, 100,000 years of the human race existing. This is what I mean. People.
But what they are doing. No,
fuck off,
no, hang on. That's what they're doing. They're being selfish because they want to be known as this. I was trying to find the other card quick.
No, people don't have enough problems in their lives, so they're creating this fucking thing. They're not being chased by bears or hunting for food or going out to pick berries or find water. They got none of that because water's on fucking tap. Go down Tesco's and buy your fucking food. Shelter's over their head because they're getting free accommodation from the fucking council.
Not necessarily.
Most of the time. They've not got enough problems. If they had these problems where they were potentially homeless, where they couldn't afford to eat, where they couldn't get water.
Do you think that's a nice thing, though?
Have you ever seen a homeless trans person? No, because they've got bigger fucking problems.
You'll probably find they are.
Counter-argue that, bitch.
No, yeah, I have actually. Do you not think that's a nice thing, though? That the problems we've got nowadays is on our gender rather than basic needs. So therefore, what a fucking life we're clearly living.
Maybe we should enjoy the life for what it is then, rather than create a problem of, I want him to call me Zem.
Well, perhaps.
Yeah. No, not perhaps. I'm right. Yeah.
I had this conversation with my granddad quite a lot, actually, when he was alive, is that, or about my granddad, not to him, is that I don't know what he did when he was working because he had so many problems that I had to go and freaking sort because he had nothing else to do. The amount of problems that would come up, and I'm like, come on, but actually, if he'd gone to work, obviously he was too old to work, but then perhaps maybe those problems wouldn't have occurred.
Old people have little problems that become the biggest problem in the world to them, where I'm juggling a 40 grand VAT bill or something like that. And your problems become relative to the life that you've got.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe. You didn't answer the fucking question. You're not getting out of this.
What?
Where'd you draw your line?
If I had a choice, then I would a boy girl because it's just I agree with you. It's easier.
Yeah.
However, if that makes people unhappy, then I will draw my line elsewhere.
How far?
What is Zem?
Exactly. You don't even fucking know, and neither do I. So how the fuck am I supposed to identify as Zem?
I'll do them if I can find out what.
What you do, Zem?
Yeah, if I can find out
the
what it is.
furthest I would ever. No, I couldn't even do it. Fuck it. I was going to say I might compromise and do they them, but fuck that. No, because it's the slippery slope. It's not even a case. It's like you could be boy, girl, a ferret. If they want to be.
Neo-pronouns is a gender natural pronoun set which can be used by anyone regardless of gender or. So what's the difference?
Exactly. Why are we creating things that don't need creating?
Ziza makes more sense. They them can refer to a group of people, whereas Ziza refers only to an individual. So causes less confusion. Yeah, I'll work with them for. So yeah, they them obviously can refer to multiple people. So that therefore some people have realised actually that's probably not very fair. Ziza is better. I get that. Yeah, I'm happy to work with
this
these.
glass is empty, and I'll happily wrap it around your
skull.
No,
I'll work with that. I like that.
Right, just to clarify, my line is he, her.
I can work with them for. I'm not happy or I'm not unhappy about it. I have a preference that there's two, but if that upsets people, then I'm happy to go for 4.
Move on because I'm getting angry.
Have you ever done drugs? If so, do you regret it? Why?
No. Yeah, no. Wait, yes and no. Yes, I've done drugs, and no, I don't regret it because I've never I didn't have an effect. Magic mushrooms. Because I heard that microdosing was good for you, so I microdosed magic mushrooms where you don't feel a thing. And then we done a bigger chunk, which was like 3 grams, but because of the doctor's SSRIs that I was on at the time, it basically changes your brain function, and I had 0 effect from a big dose of mushrooms. So that's the only experience with drugs I've ever had.
Is that never weed or anything like that?
When I was 16, I was at a party and I put a joint in my mouth, but I like pretended to puff it so I could be with the cool kids.
Because you were scared.
Yeah, I was a pussy. So yeah, never done anything. Never done, apart from magic mushrooms, which didn't work. So I'd like to revisit that at some point.
Are you off your thingy drugs?
Yeah, they're gone, mate.
Let's have another little... Should we do a podcast on mushrooms?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's do it. That'll get the viewers in. We get the sponsors. Yeah.
What, by a mushroom supplier?
Yeah. Have you?
Yes, as you're aware, I have done mushrooms.
I didn't want to get you into trouble. B Corp.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I've done some mushrooms. And when I was 16 or something, I had a spliff. But I had it round like a friend, a similar situation in that didn't really know what I was doing. A guy I knew through work smoked a lot, so he said, "I'll come back and we've got a few mates coming around."
Okay.
And anyway, so we just sat in his bedroom. I sat against the wall, smoked it, and just monged out, kind of thing. I don't really remember.
Were you drunk at the time?
No.
Okay. So what was the feeling?
I vaguely remember. I think it just made me tired.
Okay.
Like sleepy and just, lethargic, from what I can remember.
Okay. So no brain activity, it didn't make you think better, it didn't make you think clearer, more foggy.
I don't really remember it that clearly, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Just because of the passage of time.
Yeah.
Rather than the weed itself. But
so talk to me about mushrooms. Obviously, we done
mushrooms was much better.
We done them together. For clarity, we done mushrooms together, psilocybin. We had half a bar each, half a bar of chocolate. It was in chocolate form. And for me, it done nothing because of the SSRIs. But for Kieran, it was a rather interesting situation.
I don't think we took a lot of mushrooms, just to clarify.
You had 3 grams.
Yeah, that's not a lot though, is it?
I think it's up there.
Is it?
Like 7 sends you to God.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I know.
One
you'll want to do that.
No, 1 you'll feel. Supposedly, I've never done it, but yeah, 3 is supposed to be like a good dose.
Yeah, yeah, and I do agree, and I would never want to do. I don't think I would ever want to do more than that. That was a good thingy.
Describe the scenario, or describe what you saw or felt.
So it was quite cool. Like first, I don't know, 20 minutes ish, half hour. I don't really remember it actually having too much effect. It was very gradual impact, but everything had. I mean, this table would actually be pretty cool with it because it made everything like move, but not move. A bit like when you look through, what's it? It's like Kaleidoscope, yeah, move like that. But because I think again I was on a low dose, it was doing it all very gradually.
Yeah.
So this would probably look like a conveyor belt, for example.
Yeah.
Of the knots of the wood moving up the table or something like that. And also allowed you to see multiple layers. So like I would look at this contraption and I'd be able to kind of see through it, or like that part would stand out, though the embossment would stand out and stuff.
Cool.
But then the more you concentrated on it, like when we went outside and looked at the stars, I felt like I could see through the galaxies. And then I could, if I concentrated on the stars, I could join the stars up to create star signs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then I did feel as it was the effects were wearing off, I felt like, and this is where I kind of understand where perhaps maybe microdosing comes from, is I felt like I could be really proactive.
Okay. Energetic, stimulating thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not sure about energetic. Maybe. It was more just I felt. This sounds really stupid. Felt intelligent.
Okay.
But this is why it'd be interesting because, like me looking at the stars.
Yeah.
Imagine it like, and here's me thinking I could see the lines of like Libra and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that could just mean an absolute complete figure of my imagination, or was it me accessing memory to understand that was actually Libra, for example?
Yeah.
So that's what I'd be really intrigued to know, is whether that was bullshit or not.
So do you think there would be cognitive benefits to doing it more often?
If what I saw was true.
Yeah, I don't know
Because
how you prove that.
what I'm saying is that it's all well and good me going to the office and thinking, yeah, I'm going to work like really good.
On mushrooms.
Yeah. But if it was all completely rubbish,
Yeah.
then that obviously has no effect.
You'd have to test and measure it, wouldn't you? Maybe do a course of microdosing and see if it affects your cognitive ability or how efficient you are.
Yeah. I just thought, did you want to double check to see whether we're still on?
On what?
Is it listening to our audio? Is the recording working? And
I mean, maybe you should have done that 45 minutes ago.
Are we 45 minutes in? Are we? Okay. All right,
let's carry on.
Okay.
My go.
Yeah. So actually, just quickly, no regrets, and I would probably give it a go, but I don't think I would do any more than that.
Yeah, I want to do it again
because I was nervous. I become a little bit paranoid. I don't know if paranoid is the word, because apparently you do get paranoid on it. But I was nervous at the end. Unfortunately, I got driven here, so they could take me home. But I was looking forward to going to sleep because I wanted to wake up knowing the effects had gone, because I wasn't sure whether the effects were still affecting me or stuff was real.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll do it again this weekend on the podcast.
Oh, please.
Oh, God, it would be amazing. Okay, next question. Is pressure to keep working hindering our ability to enjoy life?
Who's giving you pressure to keep working?
Society.
No, it's not.
Of course it is.
No.
The government tells you to work.
No, not necessarily.
What if you don't work?
Well, you still need to fund yourself.
Yeah.
So if you can fund yourself without working, that's the pressure. It's not society or the government pressuring you to work. It's your lifestyle.
Yeah, there's a certain element that we all want to become better and better and richer and richer and richer, and we think that chasing a richer life will bring us a better life. So there is pressure to keep working, especially for entrepreneurs and people like you and me who want to create something.
Yeah, but you're creating that pressure. No one else is creating that pressure other than yourself.
No, I think there's an element from society.
Bullshit.
Of course there is.
No, bullshit.
Are you telling me you don't look at people walking down Ashford High Street and say, get a fucking job?
Yeah, but that's because of the lifestyle they're living.
Okay. Huh?
That noise. It's because the lifestyle that they're living, you don't endorse that lifestyle.
Right.
But if you want to live that lifestyle, then you crack on. Or if you want to go and live in a mud hut, you crack on. And actually, we're probably both in a financial position. I couldn't put a number on it, but say £1,000, for example. Both you and I could not easily, but put a few things in place that would allow us both to earn £1,000.
What, a month?
Yeah, without needing to do anything with our businesses.
Yeah.
So, and you could easily, there are people living on £1,000 a month.
Yeah, but then you earn that £1,000 and you're incentivized to go and earn more.
Yeah, no, you're not. You incentivize yourself to earn more.
Yeah, but why do we incentivize ourselves?
Because you want nicer things.
Yeah, you want to keep up with the Joneses, or...
Yeah, but that's you. That's your internal voice telling you to do that.
So you don't think there's any pressure from society to...
Not a single...
To push on with your career, to move up the ladder?
No. Well...
That pressure comes from the corporate world itself. No, if you work for a big corporation or whatever, you start at the bottom like most people, and then you're pressured to move up. You're pressured to do better.
If you want to.
No, it's not if you want to. If you don't, you get fired.
No, not at all. Actually, quite the opposite. Like in my organisation, I need people to be at the bottom, for example.
Would you keep them at the bottom?
If that's what they want.
Okay.
But as long as they're not leaving. The only reason why I put pressure on them to move up is because I don't want them to leave.
So what? So wait, hold on. I'm just trying to get my head around this. You think that they want to move up?
Yeah.
Or you want them to move up?
No, I don't give a shit what they want to do.
Okay.
No, that's wrong. I don't give a shit where they want to go as long as they stay with us.
Okay.
That's the reason why I say, right, not that I do it too much, but on the appraisals is, right, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Because I want to show that there is progression, there's places to go with us so they don't leave us.
Mm-hmm.
But if they want to stay doing admin for the rest of their days and whatever they are, and then crack on.
Okay. Not to forget as well the cost of living. I know it's slightly different.
Yeah, but their wage is going to go up. The cost of living,
I'm not talking about your thing, but the cost of living, how much it costs to actually live and survive in the UK or even the fucking world, however you want to put it. You need to earn a certain amount, so you have to be driven to get a job.
Yeah, but that's only because of the way that we want to live.
What do you think about universal basic income?
Yeah, 100% at some point that's coming.
Yeah. Do you agree with it?
Yeah. If we can afford to do that, then crack on.
You don't get motivation. You don't get innovation. If no one is motivated to work, you don't get innovation.
There is going to be people that are going to be wanting more than... Well, there already is. Treat universal credit, for example, as that basic income. There are people on there. I mean, you could go and get that. But we decide not to because we want a better standard of living.
Yeah.
So therefore, there is always going to be innovation.
I don't think... If universal basic income becomes a thing where everybody, let's say, AI progresses and robots come about or whatever, everybody gets a universal basic income of $2,000 a month or whatever. I think most people would choose not to work. If they can live without working, I think most people would choose not to. But then you get the likes of you and me who want to progress, who want to develop stuff, who want to make things and, and live a better life. That's our risk, and I think that we would take it, but we would be the minority.
No, well, yeah, probably.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If at the moment, let's, I don't know, 10% of the population is entrepreneurs and trying to develop something, I think if universal basic income becomes a thing, that 10% will drop to 1%.
No, yeah, but that doesn't matter because...
So then innovation slows down.
I don't think it will go as low as 1%. The reason being is that... Right, so in your situation, they're getting $2,000 basic income. Say, for example, because we're innovators, we're earning 10K, right? We go and speak to those 2K people that are slightly intelligent and say, right, come and help us be innovators, and I'll pay you $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah,
they're going to want to do it. Or some are going to want to do it.
Yeah, I'm just talking about purely in terms of innovation and in the progression of innovation and the speed of which we're innovating things. It will slow down massively.
No,
because people won't be incentivized to work.
Speed up because you've got AI speeding it up. Those innovators are then using that technology to speed up the innovation. I think it's going to be an absolutely progressive curve, a huge one.
We'll see.
Yeah,
in the next couple of years. You'll go.
Last one, isn't it?
Yep.
What is one common belief that you would change if you could?
Money brings happiness.
What, you do agree with it or you don't agree with it?
No, I think money helps you to create opportunities which you believe will bring you happiness, but oftentimes they don't.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
There's a difference between its values at the end of the day. Some things that you work hard for aren't valuable. They're just difficult to get.
Yeah, but the challenge of getting those things is what creates life, I suppose, and creates that enjoyment.
We look at certain things, fancy cars and nice watches or whatever, and we, before we had them when we were young, when I was a little Adam, when you'd see some rich-looking bloke who had a nice car and a Rolex on his wrist or whatever, you look at him and you'd think that Rolex is valuable because he struggled to get it. But then you work your fucking bollocks off to actually achieve that, and then you buy it and you realise it's not valuable, it's just difficult to get.
What do you mean it's not valuable?
It's not valuable. There is no value to it.
Why is there no value to it?
I don't mean financial value. I mean there's no value. What does this do differently to what a Swatch is going to do or a Casio?
Yeah, no, I think it's the achievement
valuable.
of getting it, isn't it? In terms of being able to... For me, that's what it is it's well done, you're able to...
But there's definitely money better spent.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, no.
I don't know, it depends on the watch.
Let's put it like this, right? Let's just ballpark. Let's say these watches that we're talking about are 15 grand, right? You, regardless of what you've bought with that, whether it's a watch, a deposit for a house, a car, whatever it might be, or donated it to a charity, the hard work to get to that point where you've got 15 grand, that's still the same whether you're buying a watch or donating it to charity.
No.
course it is.
No, it's not.
The work to get there is exactly the same.
Yeah, the
to
hard
earn
work,
15 grand is exactly the same.
Yeah.
But then what you choose to do with that is what is valuable or not.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you buy, say, some watches.
Sorry, let me finish my point. My point is, regardless, you should have been proud of yourself that you've been able to save that 15 grand to buy that watch.
Yeah.
Or buy that car or donate to that charity.
Yeah, but I think it's where the place that you put that money is reflection on your decision-making abilities as to whether that money is spare or not.
Yeah.
So, for example, purchasing a house, well, that's an asset in that you're able to live there. It's a roof over your head, so it's money well spent.
Yeah.
Well, if you donate it to charity, well, that's the biggest of achievements because you are never going to get a return on that.
Yeah, and it just goes
and
you're
it's
never
just
gonna
gone.
see it again.
Yeah. So your only achievement is going back to being completely selfless. Buying a watch, for example, depending on the watch, that's an appreciating asset. So actually, there's not that big of an achievement other than the fact that you're happy to...
Well, you've just proven that you've got that disposable income that you can live without until you possibly need it and need to sell the watch.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think for me, that was why I saw it as an achievement, is that I'm happy to hold up that amount of money.
I also think there's a big element that growing up, the likes of you and I would look at these guys in Bentleys or whatever with Rolexes and whatever watch, and you would look at it like they are successful. And then, certainly for me, definitely for me.
Yeah, I do. And
you want to be that guy, so you work hard to be that guy, and then you realise the stress that comes with a fucking Bentley and a fucking Rolex and everything else, and the work that you've actually got to put into it is hard.
I think, I agree. I think the bank probably opened my eyes up a lot about that, if I'm honest, without sounding patronising, a lot earlier than I think a lot of my friends at the time, because I remember and I remember financing these things, not so much watches, but like cars and houses and stuff like that. And like people see a Ferrari driving down the road, I'm like, oh my God, look, they can afford a Ferrari. And I'm like, it is financed up to the hill.
Yeah.
And my friends were like, no, it's not. If you could afford a Ferrari, you're going to pay for it cash and all this. It's like, no, you're not.
No, I gave him the loan.
Yeah. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. Now, of course, not to take it away from those people, is that you've obviously got to afford the
deposit,
the
have
deposit,
the good credit score.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, even just the monthlies. So I do think it's an achievement in itself. But yeah, it's certainly underwhelming, I suppose, is probably the best word to put it.
When you achieve the things, they become underwhelming, yeah.
Yeah.
When I bought this, I had it for 2-3 days, and then I was like, okay, now it's a watch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And that excitement very quickly wears off.
Yeah. But like you say, it's still an asset. It's not like the value of it has gone anywhere.
Yeah, and that's why I was happy to purchase a watch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have bought a watch that depreciates.
Yeah.
Although saying that we all buy cars that depreciate, I mean, one argues that I lease that instead. So it's better to lease a depreciating asset rather than own one. But yeah. So
on that somber note, we're done. Until next time, you got anything else you want to say?
No. Thank you very much for enjoying season 2, episode 1.
Yeah. Who are you thanking?
To all our fans,
the men and women,
all the people. Thanks.
Next time.